Tech sales boot camps are complete scams and stealing your money. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys why these boot camps are scams and what you could do instead, which costs $0 to land your first tech sales role. Why am I doing this video? I don't know. Maybe your social media feed is like mine. In the last 12 months, it's been inundated with tech sales bootcamp ads and reviews from happy students who landed high-paying sales roles. When I watched these videos over the past 12 months, they seemed a bit too good to be true, so I started doing some digging and research into these programs, not to mention it's a popular topic on Reddit. I stumbled upon a story in Time magazine from September of 2022, which, based on my research, depicts what most of these sales boot camps are like. Not all, but most. Ariane Johnson came across ads on her social media for a company called FlockJ. FlockJ was a popular tech sales bootcamp company. And with FlockJ, students didn't owe any tuition until they landed a tech sales role with the help of FlockJ, earning at least $40,000 per year. The program's core offering was a 10-week tech sales bootcamp teaching students how to break into tech sales. They promoted this on their website. 80% of their students, upon graduation within 6 months, would land their first tech sales job, earning at least $75,000 on average per year. Johnson assumed this was too good to be true and this was a scam until she started to see celebrities like Will Smith and Serena Williams invest in FlockJ, which of course added some credibility into the bootcamp. This kind of reminds me of Tom Brady, Steph Curry, and Mr. Wonderful endorsing and investing in Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. We all know how that ended. Johnson started to apply online for the bootcamp and abandoned it, and then a few days later, she got a call from a FlockJ salesperson, and I got this from the article, made it sound like the program was exclusive, but she had a good shot of getting in because she'd worked in sales in the past. So FlockJ, if I am a college student or someone trying to break into tech sales to pay you money and I don't have any sort of sales experience, your program is so exclusive that you're not going to accept my money, complete bullshit sales tactic by that FlockJ salesperson. She ended up joining the bootcamp, which proved to be a complete waste of time, money, and a complete dumpster fire of a product. It delivered nothing of what it promised. This was my favorite part of the article. The curriculum was so easy that Johnson's 7-year-old nephew could have done it. Students were taught how to make posts on LinkedIn, something most of us all knew, including a homework assignment to post about how much they were enjoying FlockJ's program. Classes had them act out selling tech products to one another, much in the same way children pretend to sell things at a grocery store, with no simulation as to what it would actually be like in the real world. Within Johnson's first 2 weeks of the program, the representative who had urged her to join was laid off, along with half of FlockJ's staff. The result was that the one-on-one coaching students were promised was effectively removed from the program. Now, she did finish the bootcamp, and the reason why she finished the bootcamp is because FlockJ pledged to match her with hiring partners. So what these tech sales bootcamps will do is once you graduate, typically they're partnered up with small startup tech companies, and upon graduation, they will facilitate an interview at these hiring partners. Upon graduation, she waited weeks for FlockJ to deliver on their promise and their pledge to match her with the hiring partners to get a couple interviews set up. It never happened. She took matters into her own hands, and we're going to talk about this at the end of the video, what all of you should do. She took matters into her own hands, hustled, landed interviews, and eventually landed a tech sales role without FlockJ's help whatsoever. She is now being hounded by a company responsible for collecting the tuition for FlockJ for a product and a bootcamp that did not deliver anything of what it promised. Back in October of 2020, FlockJ was cited by the California Bureau for Private Post-Secondary Education for operating without approval in order to cease advertising to students and enrolling them. And then, at some point in 2021, the company pivoted away from boot camps into selling B2B SaaS. A lot of tech boot camps will partner with companies that offer ISAs, income share agreements. And with these income share agreements, students don't have to pay anything up front. They only have to repay their tuition upon successful graduation and when they're earning at least a certain amount of money post-graduation. In the case of FlockJ, it was at least $40,000 in the first year. So students, they could either fork over a certain percentage of their salary or a dedicated lump sum on a monthly basis until that tuition they owe is paid back. I've seen tech sales boot camps range anywhere on average between $3,000 up to $15,000. The one positive I see with ISAs is it allies the student, the tech sales boot camp, and the ISA provider, because everybody has a vested interest in that student doing well with the program, graduating, and landing a good role. But based on my research and what I've read, these tech sales boot camps do little of what they promise, and at the end of the day, they just put people like you and me into debt. If you really want to do a boot camp where you're paying for the program up front. That way, you're not paying the program back any upside when you land a tech sales job, and you're not going to be in debt. I don't want you guys to think that I'm just picking on FlockJ. Pre-Hired LLC, another tech sales bootcamp company, founded by Joshua Jordan. Back in 2022, Washington Attorney General filed a lawsuit against this company because, and I quote, "duped Washingtonians into paying $30,000 for an online course that proved not to be what the company advertised, offered a guarantee to land students a $60,000 plus job offer, only for that claim to be a complete lie, and used aggressive collection techniques like lawsuits and forced arbitration to get the money. It had trapped students into paying, among several other areas of illegal and harmful conduct." With all that said, guys, here is why you should not invest any of your money into a tech sales bootcamp. It's flat out not needed. You do not need this to land a job in tech sales. There's this misnomer out there that tech sales is impossible to break into. What these tech sales boot camps are doing is they're going to help you land an entry-level role. An entry-level role is an SDR, a sales development rep. What an SDR does is they cold call, they cold email, they social sell, they set meetings for account executives, they fill the funnel, they fill the pipeline. That's what they're doing. So instead of investing between $3,000 and $15,000 into a program that's probably going to be a complete waste of time and not deliver anything of what they promised, how about you do this? How about you pick the phone up and you make a couple cold calls to some hiring managers, send some cold emails, connect with some folks on LinkedIn, send some LinkedIn video and voice notes over to land some interviews. Crazy concept. Also, anything you learn in these tech sales boot camps can be learned online for free. Watch YouTube channels like this. Anything these guys are teaching you, trust me, you can learn it online for free. Don't invest your money in these programs. It's a complete waste of time. And oh yeah, I did some more research on some of the top tech sales boot camps. I did some research into the people leading the curriculum. And guess what? The majority of the people leading the curriculum for these boot camps have never sold anything in their life. They've worked in education. So why am I going to invest $3,000 into a program to learn from somebody who's never sold anything in their life? They work in education. Complete waste of time, dumpster fire of a product. Do not invest your money in these programs. You can learn everything you need for free